Henry Cavill's Nazi zombie horror movie is better than you remember. Did you know Henry Cavill, Michael Fassbender, and Dominic Purcell starred in a horror film together? It's not every day that you see a horror film about eternal Nazis threatening to utilize ancient runestones to resurrect the Third Reich, but that's exactly what happens in Joel Schumacher's overlooked 2009 B-movie Blood Creek. This film, starring Henry Cavill and Michael Fassbender before they were thrown into the world of live-action comic book characters, as well as Dominic Purcell at the height of prison break, follows two brothers as they return to a West Virginian farm that's hiding a dark and terrible secret. What's the secret? A Nazi supervillain seeks to dominate the world, beginning with this small area of Appalachia. Okay, there aren't any classic Nazi zombies in Blood Creek, but there is a Nazi necromancer and a few actual zombies during the film's excellent hour and a half length. Unlike Overlord, Blood Creek draws on a dark and mostly accurate history of 1930s Nazis while bringing it into the present day. Adolf Hitler and Heinrich Himmler were particularly obsessed with the occult. This has also been portrayed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, unlike the first Captain America picture, Blood Creek takes a more darker and bloodier approach. But, with a name like Blood Creek, what do you expect? In Blood Creek, Worth travels from Nazi Germany to West Virginia in 1936 to stay with the Woolner family, who have recently relocated to the United States after discovering a Nordic runestone in their Barnes foundation. According to Worth, these types of stones contain magical characteristics that, when combined with enough blood, can make the user immortal and transport them to a higher plane of existence. Though the Vikings left these stones behind, their earthen power lives on, and the Nazi necromancer spends years researching Woolner's stone before the Third Reich falls around a decade later. But just because Hitler and his cause failed did not mean that the Nazi was finished. Worth, like Nazis who continue to operate around the world after WWII, continues to battle for dominance. Blood Creek begins with an intricate and awful past, and it only gets scarier from there. Nearly a century later, Worth has evolved into an unnatural monster who only wants to tap into his occult power to create a third eye. This, he reasoned, would make him unstoppable and enable him to resurrect the 1,000-year empire. Of course, some Nazi commanders did believe in these New Age or occult practices, sending agents all over the world in search of supernatural power. The Nazis and Raiders of the Lost Ark aren't as fictional as we might think, and Blood Creek only takes the concept a step further.